Deep Work by Cal Newport. Part 1. Introduction. Why deep work is the superpower. Let me start with a question that might sting a little. When was the last time you went an entire hour, just 1 hour, without checking your phone, notifications, or messages? According to a 2023 global study, the average person taps, swipes, or clicks their phone over 2,600 times per day. We've built a culture so deeply wired for distraction that uninterrupted thought is becoming a lost art. And yet, in the midst of this chaos, a quiet revolution is happening, a revolution of focus, and it's being led by those who've learned the secret weapon of our time: deep work. In this video, you're going to discover why deep work, sustained, focused, distraction-free concentration, is the superpower that can separate average results from extraordinary success. You'll learn the difference between shallow work, the emails, meetings, scrolling, and mindless multitasking we're all guilty of, and deep work, which is where breakthroughs, brilliance, and mastery are born. If you've ever felt like you're working all the time but getting nowhere, this might be the missing link. Cal Newport, the author of Deep Work, defines this skill as the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's not just a productivity trick, it's the cornerstone of excellence in today's knowledge economy. Why? Because deep work allows you to create things of value. It enables you to learn difficult subjects faster, to master skills others give up on, and to build a body of work you're proud of. And here's the hard truth. As the world becomes noisier, the ability to go deep becomes rarer, and therefore more valuable. Imagine what your life could look like if you could tap into this power consistently. What if you could write that book, launch that business, ace that course, or finally get ahead in your career, not by working longer hours, but by working smarter and deeper? That's the transformation this book and this video can spark in your life. And you don't need to be a genius. You just need to build the skill of focus. So, here's your first reflective question. What's one dream, one meaningful goal you've put off because of constant distractions? Maybe it's writing, creating, studying, building, or learning. Whatever it is, deep work is the key to unlocking it. This isn't about hustling harder. It's about eliminating noise so that what truly matters can rise to the surface. Stick with me, and I'll show you how to make this mindset a permanent part of your life. Because once you understand deep work, your output, your learning speed, and your sense of purpose won't just improve, they'll multiply. Let's begin. Part 2. The Deep Work Hypothesis. Why focused effort is a superpower. In a world flooded with noise, one ability stands out like a lighthouse in a storm: the power to focus deeply. Cal Newport calls this the Deep Work Hypothesis, and it's the central idea of his book. Simply put, Newport argues that the ability to perform deep work is becoming increasingly rare at exactly the same time it is becoming increasingly valuable in our economy. Those who cultivate this skill and make it the core of their working life will thrive. Everyone else? They'll struggle to keep up, buried under notifications and to-do lists that never actually move the needle. Let's break this down. What makes deep work so essential today? Think about how most of us work. We're constantly pulled in a dozen directions: emails, chats, social media, meetings, Slack pings, and that ever-tempting scroll of the phone. We multitask our way through the day, reacting more than we create. But here's the truth. Multitasking is a myth. Neuroscience shows that every time we switch tasks, our brain takes time to recalibrate. That time adds up. And over time, that distraction becomes a habit. We lose our ability to concentrate. We become shallow thinkers in a world that rewards depth. Now, imagine the opposite. Imagine setting aside time each day, undisturbed, uninterrupted, to dive into your most important work. No notifications, no email tab open, just you and a single meaningful task. That's where deep work lives, and that's where your best thinking, best creating, and best learning happens. But here's the twist. This isn't just a nice idea. It's now a competitive advantage. In a digital economy, where knowledge is king and attention is currency, the person who can focus deeply can produce more, produce better, and outlearn everyone else. Newport argues that there are two core abilities for thriving in the modern world: the ability to learn hard things quickly, and the ability to produce at an elite level. Deep work trains you to do both. Why does this matter so much? Because technology has made information abundant, but attention scarce. We've never had more tools, data, and knowledge at our fingertips. But we've also never been more distracted. Most people skim headlines, half-read emails, and bounce from task to task without ever going deep. But mastery, creativity, and innovation don't come from skimming. They come from focus, from depth. To illustrate this, let me take you back to the early 20th century. Carl Jung, the famed psychiatrist and father of analytical psychology, was facing a challenge. He was developing ideas that diverged from his mentor, Sigmund Freud. He needed solitude to think, to create, to go deep into the human psyche. So what did he do? He built a stone tower in the woods of Bollingen, Switzerland, with no electricity or running water. It was his sanctuary of focus. There, Jung spent days alone, thinking, writing, and working in profound isolation. And it was in that tower, in a space carved out for deep thought, that he birthed ideas that forever changed the field of psychology. Now, you may not build a tower in the woods, but what if you carved out even 1 hour today to go deep? No distractions, no phone, just a single high-impact task. What might you discover? What might you create? Let's get practical. To begin cultivating deep work, the first step is awareness. Start by tracking how much deep work you're currently doing. Don't guess, actually track it. Keep a simple log or journal. Each day, note how many minutes or hours you spent in true, focused work. Be honest, for most people, it's less than they think. And that's okay. Awareness is where change begins. Next, start noticing what kind of results your deep work produces. Did that focused writing session lead to a breakthrough? Did your undistracted hour of study help you grasp a complex topic? Did you finally finish a creative project that's been stalled for weeks? When you see the results, motivation follows. Deep work doesn't just feel good, it delivers. Another way to build the habit is by setting clear boundaries. Newport talks about ritualizing your deep work. That means you treat it like a sacred appointment. You set the time, you choose the location, you prepare your tools, you eliminate distractions, and you protect that time like it's gold, because it is. Now, this doesn't mean you have to eliminate shallow work completely. There's a place for responding to emails and handling logistics, but if that's all you do, you'll never move forward in a meaningful way. The goal is to create pockets of deep work in your day, whether it's 1 hour, 2 hours, or 4. Even small shifts can lead to big breakthroughs. Let me ask you something personal now. Can you carve out just 1 hour today to go deep? 1 hour to write, build, learn, solve, or think, without the endless pull of your phone or browser tabs. 1 hour of focused creation instead of passive consumption. What's the most meaningful task on your plate right now? Imagine how much progress you could make if you gave it just 1 hour of your best attention. Remember, deep work is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. but it also atrophies when neglected. And in today's fast, noisy, always-on world, we must fight for depth. Because the world won't hand it to us. We have to choose it. And here's the beauty. Once you start experiencing the results of deep work, once you see how much you can accomplish, how deeply you can think, and how satisfied you feel, you won't want to go back. You'll start seeing distractions for what they are, thieves of your potential. So, as we move forward in this series, remember this core principle. Deep work isn't optional, it's essential. It's the difference between a career that feels busy and one that feels meaningful. It's the gap between average results and truly great work. It's the space where your full potential gets to breathe. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into how to train your brain for focus and build a lifestyle that supports deep work. But for now, take this challenge seriously. Today, carve out 1 hour. Go deep. Shut off the noise. Step into your own version of Jung's stone tower. Because your best work, the work that moves your life forward, is waiting in that quiet place. Are you ready to meet it? Part 3. Shallow work versus deep work. Know the difference. Let's get brutally honest for a moment. How much of your time is spent doing work that feels productive but doesn't actually move the needle? Answering emails, attending meetings, clicking through tabs, checking notifications, bouncing between to-do list items without ever finishing the most important one. That, my friend, is what Cal Newport calls shallow work. And it's the silent killer of meaningful progress. In contrast, deep work is focused, undistracted, cognitively demanding effort on tasks that create real value. It's hard, it takes discipline, but it's also where your growth, success, and fulfillment come from. The problem? Most people live in shallow mode, and they don't even realize it. So what exactly is the difference? Shallow work is non-cognitively demanding, logistical or administrative, performed while distracted, easy to replicate, often reactive. Think of tasks like answering emails, posting on social media, attending low-impact meetings, or browsing through documents. These are the tasks that keep you busy, but not necessarily better. They fill the day without feeding your purpose. And because they're easy and instantly rewarding, they're incredibly addictive. Deep work, on the other hand, is cognitively demanding, requires full concentration, not easily replicable, drives learning and high-value output, proactive and purposeful. This is the kind of work that builds careers, creates breakthroughs, and moves you closer to your goals. Writing a chapter of your book, solving a complex problem, designing a powerful presentation, learning a new skill, crafting a strategic plan. These tasks are hard, but that's why they matter. Here's why this distinction matters so much. Most people never question the kind of work they're doing. They assume that if they're working long hours, they must be productive. But busyness is not the same as effectiveness. Shallow work gives the illusion of progress, while deep work delivers the reality of progress. Cal Newport puts it bluntly. If you spend enough time in a state of frenetic shallowness, you permanently reduce your capacity to perform deep work. That's right. If you live on the surface for too long, you start losing the ability to go deep. Your focus fades. Your creativity weakens. Your attention span shrinks. And before you know it, your work becomes a blur of tasks that don't really matter. Let's bring this to life with a real-world example. Jack Dorsey, the co-founder of Twitter and Square. At one point, he was running both companies at the same time. That's an insane workload, but here's what's interesting. He structured his schedule very differently at each company. At Twitter, his days were filled with meetings, reacting to crises, and staying in communication with his teams. It was a classic example of shallow work, constant context switching, communication heavy, always reactive. At Square, however, he blocked entire days for focused, strategic thinking. He called them theme days, where each day had a deep focus area, like product, hiring, or marketing. There were fewer meetings, more thinking, more creating. And guess which company was known for more innovation and operational excellence during that period? You guessed it, Square. This isn't to say that shallow work is useless. Some shallow work is necessary. But the problem is when it becomes the default. When your day is dominated by shallow tasks, there's no space left for the deep, valuable work that actually changes things. So, what can you do? The first step is awareness. Audit your week. Sit down with your calendar and your task list and ask yourself, which tasks were truly deep? Which ones required full focus and created real value? And which ones were shallow? Tasks that were easy, reactive, and could be done with one eye on your phone. You might be surprised. For most people, deep work accounts for less than 10% of their week. The rest is noise. Once you've identified the shallow tasks, ask yourself, can I eliminate this? Can I automate it? Can I delegate it? The fewer shallow tasks on your plate, the more room you'll have to go deep. Next, schedule your deep work. Don't leave it to chance. Newport recommends time blocking, dedicating specific hours in your day or week to uninterrupted deep work. Treat it like an unmissable appointment. Close your tabs. Silence your phone. Put up a "Do Not Disturb" sign. Go deep. It helps to know your peak hours, when your brain is most alert and creative. For many people, that's in the morning. For others, it might be late at night. Whenever it is, guard that time. Make it your sanctuary for meaningful work. Here's another tip. Create a ritual. Newport found that deep workers often have a set routine or environment that helps them enter focus mode quickly. Maybe it's a certain spot in your home, a specific playlist, or a short walk before you begin. The more consistent your ritual, the easier it becomes to slip into deep work. And remember, deep work feels hard for a reason. It stretches your brain. It requires patience. It demands that you resist the siren call of distraction. But it's also where the magic happens. It's where you learn fastest, perform best, and feel most fulfilled. Let me leave you with this reflective question. What percentage of your work is truly deep? Be honest. And more importantly, what do you want that number to be? Because here's the truth. The deeper you go, the higher you rise. In the next section, we'll explore how to train your brain to go deep, even in a world designed for distraction. But for now, take a moment to do that task audit. Look at your life with new eyes. Spot the shallow. Create space for the deep. Because your best work isn't on the surface. It's waiting for you at the bottom, beneath the distractions, beyond the noise, in the place where depth begins. Part 4. Rule 1. Work deeply. Let's be real. Deep work doesn't happen by accident. You don't stumble into a distraction-free, highly focused, creative flow state while juggling emails, checking your phone, or hopping between meetings. Deep work is not a lucky moment. It's a deliberate design. Cal Newport's first and perhaps most powerful rule in deep work is simple but transformational. Work deeply. That's not a suggestion. It's a way of life. If you want to rise above average, if you want to achieve the kind of success most people only dream of, you must learn how to build your life around deep work, not squeeze it into the cracks. Because here's the hard truth. The world is wired to keep you shallow. Your phone wants your attention. Your inbox is endless. Your notifications never sleep. You are surrounded by systems built to steal your focus. So if you want to live a life of depth and meaning, you have to fight for it. And the best way to fight for it? Structure, ritual, discipline. That's what rule number 1 is about. You need to design your deep work, when you'll do it, where you'll do it, and how you'll protect it. Let's take inspiration from one of the most successful authors of our time, J.K. Rowling. When she was finishing the final book of the Harry Potter series, The Deathly Hallows, she hit a wall. Her usual writing spaces were no longer working. Too many distractions, too much noise, too much life pulling at her attention. So what did she do? She checked herself into a 5-star hotel. Not for luxury, not for fun, but for focus. She needed a space where she could only write. No chores, no emails, no interruptions. Just her laptop, and the final pages of a story the world was waiting to read. And it worked. She finished the book. Now, maybe you can't book a luxury suite for a week, but you can design your own deep work environment, and you must. Because if you don't build a fortress around your focus, the world will tear it apart. So let's get practical. Newport outlines several strategies for making deep work part of your daily life. Here's how you can get started. 1. Create a deep work ritual. Rituals remove friction. They make behavior automatic. The more consistent your setup, the easier it is to drop into a state of flow. Your deep work ritual should answer 3 key questions. Where will you do deep work? Choose a space where you can control your environment. It doesn't need to be fancy. A quiet room, a corner of the library, a coffee shop with noise-canceling headphones. It just needs to be consistent and focused. When will you do deep work? Schedule it. Don't wait until you have time. You won't. Newport recommends time blocking. Set aside specific hours in your calendar. Treat them like sacred appointments, and protect them with your life. How will you measure your progress? Deep work should have clear goals, whether it's write 1,000 words, study 1 chapter, or solve 3 complex problems. Set a clear intention. This keeps your mind engaged and gives you a finish line to aim for. 2. Set boundaries around distraction. You can't go deep if your phone is buzzing, your email is open, or your Slack is dinging. Deep work requires isolation, not forever, but for stretches of focused effort. Try these. Turn off notifications completely during your deep work blocks. Use a website blocker like Freedom, Cold Turkey, or Focus. Let people know you're unavailable during that time. Set your Slack to Do Not Disturb. Put your phone on airplane mode. Tell your family or roommates that you're not to be interrupted unless it's urgent. Set a visible sign on your desk or door. Deep work in progress. Remember, this isn't about being a hermit. It's about creating windows of sacred focus in your day. Windows where the world doesn't get to interrupt your greatness. 3. Embrace boredom. Here's a strange but powerful idea from Newport. Train your brain to tolerate boredom. Why? Because if you're always switching to something entertaining the second you feel restless, your phone, YouTube, Instagram, you're weakening your attention muscle. To go deep, you need to be able to stay with a thought, even when it's hard. Try this. Next time you're waiting in line, riding in an Uber, or sitting at a red light, don't reach for your phone. Just sit. Let your mind wander. Let yourself get bored. Why? Because boredom is a gateway to brilliance. It trains your mind to stay still, to go inward, and to process deeply. 4. Have a shutdown ritual. At the end of your workday, don't just drift away from your desk. Shut down with intention. Review what you've done. Plan what you'll do tomorrow. Then say out loud, "Shut down complete." It sounds silly, but it's incredibly powerful. It signals to your brain that work is over and rest has begun. And when your mind knows it has protected deep work time tomorrow, it lets go more easily today. 5. Go for depth, not duration. Deep work doesn't mean working longer, it means working better. Even 60 to 90 minutes of deep, focused effort can outproduce 8 hours of scattered multitasking. Start small. If you're new to deep work, try one focused session a day. Build from there. It's a muscle, and muscles grow with practice, not pressure. Now, here's your challenge. Design your deep work environment this week. Ask yourself, where will I go to do my best thinking? When will I carve out 90 minutes of undistracted time? What will I measure? Words written, problems solved, concepts mastered? Then go do it. Block the time. Prep the space. Protect the session. Because this is more than just a productivity tactic, it's a lifestyle choice. A declaration that your mind, your focus, and your future are too valuable to be wasted on shallow distractions. Remember, deep work is not about working harder. It's about working deeper. It's about designing a life that prioritizes meaning over noise, mastery over mediocrity, and depth over distraction. J.K. Rowling didn't finish Harry Potter in a whirlwind of chaos. She stepped away from the noise to find the silence where magic lives. And so can you. So, what does your version of a 5-star focus space look like? Maybe it's a corner of your room, a chair in a quiet cafe, or a library desk. Wherever it is, go there. Often, with intention. Because once you master the habit of working deeply, you won't just change how you work. You'll change who you become. Part 5. Rule 2. Embrace boredom. When was the last time you truly sat in silence? No phone, no music, no scrolling, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. In today's hyper-connected world, that kind of stillness feels almost alien. We've trained ourselves to fear boredom like it's a virus. The moment we feel the slightest discomfort or mental quiet, we reach for a screen. Standing in line? Scroll Instagram. Riding the bus? Check TikTok. Waiting 5 seconds for a web page to load? Open a new tab. But here's the truth that Cal Newport lays down in rule number 2 of deep work. If you can't be bored, you can't go deep. That may sound strange at first, even counterintuitive. But once you understand the relationship between boredom, attention, and deep thinking, it makes perfect sense. This rule isn't about embracing boredom for the sake of being uncomfortable. It's about reclaiming your brain's ability to focus, reflect, and create at a high level. Let's unpack this. The human brain was not designed to be constantly stimulated. It needs silence. It needs space. It needs boredom. Not the dull, passive boredom of watching the clock at work, but the active kind where your mind begins to wander, reflect, and make unexpected connections. Newport argues that if you want to consistently do deep work, you need to train your brain to tolerate boredom. In other words, you must build mental endurance for depth. Just like physical muscles weaken from disuse, your concentration muscles atrophy when you jump from app to app all day long. Here's the warning. If your brain becomes addicted to instant novelty, it will resist the sustained effort deep work demands. You'll sit down to focus and immediately crave a dopamine hit from a notification or a new video. This constant switching not only destroys focus, it trains your brain to expect distraction. And that makes deep work impossible. So how do you reverse that? How do you build your capacity to sit with silence, to think deeply, and to produce high-quality, meaningful work? Let's explore a few powerful strategies Cal Newport recommends under rule number 2. 1. Schedule internet use. This sounds drastic, but it's surprisingly effective. Instead of randomly checking your email or social media whenever you feel like it, schedule specific times in your day to go online. This could mean checking your phone for 10 minutes every hour, or only going online during preset blocks. The key is intentionality. By limiting access to stimulation, you begin to rewire your brain. You're telling it, you don't get a dopamine hit every time you're uncomfortable. You wait, you think, you reflect. It's not about digital detox, it's about controlled consumption. Instead of being a passive consumer of endless content, you become a focused creator of deep thoughts, ideas, and work. Second, practice productive meditation. This is one of Newport's most powerful techniques. Here's how it works. You take a walk, no phone, no podcast, no music, and you focus your attention on a single problem or idea you're working on. This could be planning an essay, solving a work challenge, or brainstorming a creative project. As you walk, your mind will inevitably wander. That's okay. When it does, gently bring your attention back to the problem. Just like meditation, but instead of focusing on your breath, you're focusing on a mental task. This trains your concentration in real-world conditions. You're teaching your mind to hold a thought, wrestle with it, and resist distraction, all while moving your body. Charles Darwin did this. He took long, silent walks on what he called his thinking path to ponder evolutionary theory. Steve Jobs was known for his iconic walking meetings, often pacing around without gadgets, letting the mind roam and click. This practice creates space for breakthroughs. When the noise quiets, creativity speaks. 3. Embrace the discomfort of stillness. This rule isn't about fighting boredom. It's about welcoming it. The next time you find yourself waiting, at the doctor's office, in traffic, in a grocery line, resist the urge to pull out your phone. Just be. Notice your thoughts. Observe your surroundings. Let your mind drift. It will feel awkward at first. You'll itch for stimulation. That's a sign that your mind is detoxing from shallow engagement. Stay with it. This is training. You're stretching the part of your brain that will eventually allow you to sit down for 2 hours and write, code, strategize, or build without craving distraction. 5. Create space for reflection. Schedule time in your week, just 30 to 60 minutes, where you do nothing but think. No phone, no computer, just a notebook or a blank screen. Ask yourself big questions. What am I working toward? What's getting in my way? What could I do differently? Let your thoughts pour out. Most people don't realize how powerful their minds are because they never slow down long enough to hear their own wisdom. 5. Accept that depth is hard, but worth it. Deep work isn't easy. Sitting in silence with a hard problem takes effort. You'll feel resistance, you'll feel boredom, but this is what separates professionals from amateurs. The amateur says, "This is uncomfortable. I need to check my phone." The professional says, "This is uncomfortable, but this is the path to something meaningful." By embracing boredom, you're strengthening the muscle of focus. And that muscle, over time, becomes a superpower. So, let's return to that question. When was the last time you truly sat in silence? If it's been a while, you're not alone. Most people have forgotten how. But you can remember. You can reclaim your mind from the noise. And when you do, you'll find something incredible waiting for you. Clarity, insight, creativity, and power. Think of boredom not as a curse, but as a doorway. A doorway into deeper thinking, deeper work, and a deeper life. This week, your challenge is simple. Schedule 30 minutes to walk without devices. No headphones, no phone, just walk. Think about something important to you. Practice productive meditation. Notice the resistance. Then return to your work and see how your mind responds. The world wants your attention, but your greatness demands your boredom. So embrace it. Because when you stop chasing noise, you start creating brilliance. Part 6. Rule 3. Quit social media. Imagine waking up tomorrow and not checking your phone. No scrolling through Instagram, no swiping through TikTok, no Twitter debates, no Facebook updates. Would you feel calm or anxious? In Deep Work, Cal Newport argues that for most of us, the latter is more common. And it's not by accident. Social media platforms are designed to hijack your attention. They are addictive by design, engineered to fragment your focus, bombard your brain with dopamine, and ultimately rob you of the ability to do deep, meaningful work. That's why rule number 3 is bold and uncompromising. Quit social media. Now, Newport isn't some anti-tech hermit yelling from a mountaintop. He's a tenured computer science professor, a best-selling author, and a productivity expert. He doesn't hate technology. What he opposes is mindless use of technology, especially tools that offer very little value while costing us our greatest resource, attention. And nothing fits that category better than social media. The core idea: be intentional with your tools. At the heart of this rule is one radical truth: not every tool deserves your time. We've been sold a lie. The tech industry promotes the idea that if it might be useful, you should use it. But Newport flips that on its head with what he calls the craftsman approach to tool selection. This means only use a tool if its positive impact on your goals substantially outweighs the negative. This is the standard a true craftsman applies. A professional woodworker doesn't fill his workshop with every shiny new gadget. He carefully selects tools that directly help him do high-quality work. Everything else is left out. You should treat your time and attention with the same level of precision. Ask yourself, is this tool, this app, this platform, really helping me achieve what matters most? Because if it's not, it's stealing from you. Why it matters. Social media is designed to fragment focus. Social media doesn't just waste your time. It rewires your brain. These platforms are engineered to keep you engaged for as long as possible, triggering the dopamine loop that craves likes, retweets, comments, and fresh content. But there's a cost. Every swipe and scroll trains your brain to expect novelty. It punishes boredom. It reduces your tolerance for stillness. And worst of all, it shatters your ability to focus for long periods of time. The very thing deep work requires. You might think, I'll just check for 5 minutes. But that quick check can disrupt your concentration for 30 minutes or more. Over time, you lose the ability to sit down and focus without distraction, even when you want to. And the worst part? Most of us don't even need social media for our personal or professional success. A real-world example: Newport thrives without it. Cal Newport himself is a living example of this rule in action. He's never had a Facebook account. He doesn't use Twitter. He's not on Instagram or LinkedIn. And yet, he's built a thriving career. He's published best-selling books. He runs a successful podcast. His blog reaches millions. He speaks at major conferences. He's a tenured professor at a prestigious university. And he does all of this without social media. How? By focusing entirely on what matters most, producing high-quality work, and sharing it intentionally. You might say, but I'm not Cal Newport. True, but the principle still applies. Social media success is often an illusion. Most people aren't building brands, they're burning time. They're consuming more than they create. And worst of all, they're trading deep work for shallow scrolling. How to apply? Try the 7-day social media detox. You don't have to delete your accounts forever, though you might want to. But Newport challenges us to take a bold step. Do a 7-day social media detox. Here's how to do it. 1. Log out of every social media platform. Remove the apps from your phone. Use a blocker if you need to. 2. During the detox, pay attention. Track how you feel. Are you more focused, less anxious, more productive? 3. Measure the impact. How much more time do you have for meaningful work, reading, hobbies, or real connection? 4. After 7 days, reflect. Did those platforms add significant value to your life, or were they just habit? For many people, this experiment is eye-opening. You begin to realize how often you were reaching for your phone out of reflex, not need. You notice the mental space that returns. You feel the pull of deep work returning. And then you have a choice. Go back to business as usual, or move forward with intention. Be brutal about what deserves your focus. This rule isn't about being extreme, it's about being ruthless with your priorities. You don't need social media to be informed. You need trusted sources and curated input. You don't need it to connect. You need real conversations, real friendships. You don't need it to promote your work. You need excellent output and intentional sharing. Here's what you do need: uninterrupted blocks of time to think, create, and build. Social media steals that from you in 15-second increments, and you never even notice. Newport puts it plainly: the ability to concentrate intensely is a skill that must be trained. Social media trains the opposite. If you want to build a life of depth, creativity, and productivity, you must quit or radically reduce your social media usage. Challenge? Try it for a week. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, quit social media. No cheating, no logging in, no checking. Just delete the apps, block the sites, and get curious. See what happens. Use that time to read, to write, to walk, to reflect, to reconnect with boredom, to work deeply. Track how much more you get done, how much clearer your mind becomes, how much more energy you have for the things that matter. Then ask yourself, was it really adding value, or was it just a habit? Because here's the truth. Quitting social media won't destroy your life. It might just save it. It could be the turning point where you finally reclaim your focus, your time, your creative power. So don't just scroll past this. Log off, go deep, and start living like your attention actually matters. Because it does. Part 7. Rule 4. Drain the shallows. But then your day begins. You check your inbox and reply to a few emails. Then a Slack notification pulls you into a quick back and forth. A colleague just needs 5 minutes. A few administrative errands come up. Before you know it, the sun is setting, and that big, meaningful task, still untouched. Welcome to the tyranny of shallow work. In deep work, Cal Newport introduces a powerful rule for reclaiming your time and output. Drain the shallows. This isn't just about being busy. It's about realizing that most of what fills our workdays, email, meetings, small tasks, low-priority requests, is shallow, and it's killing our potential for depth. The core idea: guard your time like it's life itself. Shallow work is deceptive. It looks like work. It feels like you're getting things done. But in reality, it's the cotton candy of productivity. Sweet, light, and ultimately hollow. These are the tasks that are non-cognitively demanding. Replying to emails, filling out forms, answering routine messages, or attending meetings with no clear agenda. They're not worthless, but they're not where the magic happens. In contrast, deep work is where value is created, where you push your cognitive abilities to the limit to create something meaningful. But here's the catch. If you don't actively manage the shallow, it will consume your entire schedule. That's why Newport argues you need to be ruthless about minimizing shallow tasks. He suggests a specific, strategic approach, time blocking your day and limiting shallow work to no more than 30 to 40% of your total schedule. This isn't about working less, it's about working with intention. Why it matters. Shallow tasks create the illusion of progress. One of the most dangerous traps in modern work is the illusion of productivity. You answer 50 emails before 10 a.m., attend 3 meetings, and clear out your task list. But did any of it move the needle? Did you push your big project forward? Did you build something new? Did you solve a tough problem? In many cases, the answer is no. And this illusion of progress is what keeps people trapped in mediocrity. Newport reminds us that in a knowledge economy, busyness is a poor proxy for effectiveness. Real value comes from deep, focused effort. Shallow work may support your responsibilities, but it cannot replace your core creative output. How to apply: time block ruthlessly and cap the shallows. To drain the shallows, Newport offers a powerful method: time blocking. Instead of working from a to-do list and reacting to whatever comes your way, you schedule your entire day in advance, hour by hour. Here's how it works. 1. Plan your day in blocks. Assign every hour to a specific task or type of work, including breaks. 2. Identify shallow tasks. Flag items like email, low-stakes meetings, admin duties, or status updates as shallow. 3. Cap shallow work. Only allow 30 to 40% of your day to be consumed by shallow tasks. For an 8-hour workday, that's about 2.5 to 3 hours. 4th, group shallow work together. Batch similar tasks so they don't interrupt your deep work sessions. 5. Protect your deep work time. Treat it like a doctor's appointment, non-negotiable and sacred. This may sound rigid, but ironically, it creates more freedom. Instead of feeling pulled in 10 directions, you operate with clarity. You know when to go deep, when to handle shallow stuff, and when to rest. Your day stops happening to you and starts happening for you. Real-world example: Benjamin Franklin's daily structure. Even centuries before the term deep work existed, people like Benjamin Franklin intuitively understood its value. Franklin was a statesman, inventor, author, and scientist. His secret? An incredibly structured day. In his autobiography, Franklin detailed his daily schedule with remarkable precision. He began his mornings with a simple question: what good shall I do this day? He blocked out time for work, study, reflection, and even socializing. And each night, he ended his day with the question, what good have I done today? Franklin didn't waste time on shallow distractions. His routine ensured that the important work, whether it was writing, experimenting, or negotiating, had space to breathe. And he fiercely protected that time. You don't have to live like it's 1776 to adopt Franklin's wisdom. A structured day is a powerful day. And when you drain the shallows, you create room for greatness. Protecting deep time means saying no. Another hard truth in draining the shallows: you will have to say no more often. Many shallow tasks come disguised as harmless favors. Can you look at this real quick? Can we hop on a quick call? Can you join this meeting just in case? Saying yes to these small requests may feel polite, but it slowly poisons your productivity. Every yes to shallow work is a no to deep work. That's why Newport urges professionals to adopt a bias toward no. Don't commit out of guilt or habit. Evaluate everything based on one standard. Does this contribute to my most important goals? If not, defer it, delegate it, or decline it. Reflective question: who's running your day? You or your inbox? Here's a question worth sitting with. How often do you let your inbox dictate your day? It's an uncomfortable truth for many. We wake up, check email, and suddenly we're playing defense all day. Responding, reacting, managing, instead of creating. But here's the thing. You are not your inbox. You're a creator, a thinker, a builder. And every time you surrender your schedule to shallow demands, you give away the one thing you can never get back: your time. Draining the shallows is about reclaiming that time. It's about declaring that your deep work matters more than your notifications, that your mission is more important than your message queue. Your challenge: drain the shallows. This week, here's a practical challenge for the week ahead. Track your time. For one day, write down everything you do and label it as either deep or shallow. Do a shallow audit. What's eating your time? Meetings, email, admin work? Cap shallow work at 30 to 40%. Block it into specific chunks. Don't let it overflow. Create protected deep blocks. Even 2 hours a day can change your output dramatically. Say no to non-essential tasks. Practice politely declining or delaying shallow commitments. At first, it might feel uncomfortable. You'll feel the itch to multitask, to check messages, to be responsive. But over time, something powerful happens. You regain control. You become the architect of your day, not its victim. Draining the shallows isn't about eliminating all small tasks. It's about putting them in their place, beneath the work that truly matters. When you create space for deep work, you unlock creativity, clarity, and achievement. You move from reaction to intention, from busy to brilliant, from noise to meaning. So ask yourself today, what shallow work can I eliminate, delegate, or schedule for later, so I can finally go deep where it counts? The answer might just change everything. Part 8. Practice makes perfect. The power of deliberate practice. In the world of high achievement, there's a secret ingredient that separates the good from the truly great. It's not raw talent, luck, or even time spent grinding. It's how that time is used. Cal Newport, in Deep Work, shines a spotlight on this hidden engine of mastery: deliberate practice. And here's the bold truth. The deeper you work, the faster you improve. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to leap ahead in their careers, skills, or creative pursuits while others plateau, the answer lies here. Mastery isn't random. It's the result of focused, structured, and intentional practice, the kind that stretches your limits and rewires your brain for peak performance. And in today's distracted world, it's rarer and more valuable than ever. The core idea: deep work accelerates skill building. Let's break this down. Deliberate practice is not simply doing something over and over again. It's not logging hours. It's not mindless repetition. It's structured effort designed to improve specific elements of your performance. When you enter a deep work state, where all distractions are removed, and your full mental energy is focused on a difficult task, you engage your brain at a higher level. You push past comfort. You struggle, adapt, refine. And that's the sweet spot where growth happens. Newport emphasizes that deep work and deliberate practice are inseparable twins. You cannot engage in real deliberate practice if you're distracted. Checking your phone every 10 minutes, toggling between tabs, half listening to music or podcasts, none of that counts. Deep work is the soil. Deliberate practice is the seed. Together, they grow mastery. Why it matters? Top performers train differently. There's a famous study that proves this perfectly. Psychologist K. Anders Ericsson and his team studied violinists at a prestigious music academy in Berlin. The students were split into 3 groups: the elite, future soloists; the good, likely orchestra players; and the average, music teachers. All were serious about music. All had access to the same instructors and facilities. So what made the elite violinists so much better? It wasn't raw talent. It wasn't just more hours. It was how they practiced. The top performers spent significantly more time in deliberate, focused practice, especially in the morning when their minds were freshest. They practiced in isolation, with clear goals, full concentration, and regular feedback. They didn't multitask or casually play. They drilled difficult passages, corrected mistakes, and reviewed their progress. Most importantly, they rested deliberately, taking breaks to let their brains recover. The takeaway? Greatness isn't born. It's trained. And it's trained through deep, focused effort over time. How to apply? Train like the best. If you want to improve any skill, writing, coding, public speaking, design, business strategy, sales, you need to practice like the elite. Here's how to do that using deliberate practice within a deep work framework. 1. Set stretch goals. Don't just work on something. Set a clear, challenging goal that pushes you outside your comfort zone. For example, instead of practice piano, aim for master the left-hand pattern in Chopin's Prelude in E minor without error. 2. Work in deep blocks. Set aside 60 to 90 minutes of uninterrupted time. Shut off your phone. Close all non-essential tabs. Use tools like website blockers or noise-canceling headphones if needed. 3. Focus on weaknesses. Most people practice what they're already good at, but progress comes from targeting weak areas. Analyze your performance and zero in on the parts that trip you up. 4. Get feedback. Feedback is the compass of improvement. Whether it's from a mentor, a peer, an app, or your own analysis, use it to guide your next session. Track progress. Keep a log of what you practiced, how it went, and what you learned. Over time, this creates a roadmap of your growth and highlights patterns. 6. Rest intentionally. After a deep session, take a real break. Go for a walk, nap, or engage in something unrelated. Recovery is where the brain consolidates learning. This process may sound intense, and it is. But that's the point. Easy practice leads to stagnation. Deep, deliberate practice leads to transformation. A personal example, from struggling writer to skilled storyteller. Let's take a real-world example that's close to home for many creatives. Imagine a writer trying to improve their storytelling. For years, they've written blog posts, social media captions, and the occasional short story. But their progress feels slow. The writing is flat. The ideas are good, but the execution is weak. Now imagine that same writer adopting deliberate practice. They choose one skill, say writing vivid scenes, and spend an hour each morning doing the following. Study a well-written passage by a master author. Rewrite it by hand to internalize the rhythm and structure. Craft their own original version using similar techniques. Analyze what worked and what didn't. They repeat this every weekday. Over weeks, then months, something remarkable happens. Their scenes come alive. Their characters feel real. They write faster, better, and with more confidence. Not because of magic, but because of deliberate, deep practice. The bigger picture. Why this approach is rare and powerful. Here's a truth most people don't want to hear. Deliberate practice is uncomfortable. It's cognitively demanding. It requires focus, honesty, and resilience. That's why so few people do it consistently. Most settle for busy work. They confuse motion with progress. They avoid the mental strain that growth demands. But if you're willing to embrace the challenge, to train like a professional, not a hobbyist, you'll separate yourself from the pack. Cal Newport writes that, "To learn hard things quickly, you must focus intensely without distraction." In other words, to get good, fast, you have to go deep. Your challenge: go deep on one skill. This week, so here's your challenge for the week ahead. Pick one skill you want to master. Then block time each day to go deep on it. Start with just 30 minutes a day. Create a clear goal. Remove all distractions. Focus on your weaknesses. Reflect and adjust. Repeat. Whether it's learning a language, mastering Excel, improving your writing, or honing your guitar skills, commit to deliberate, focused practice. If you stay consistent, in 7 days, you'll feel the shift. In 30 days, you'll see the results. And in a year, you'll have transformed your ability in a way most people only dream of. There's a reason most people plateau. They stop practicing with intention. They coast. They rely on experience instead of growth. But if you want to be great, truly great, you need to train like the best. Deliberate practice isn't flashy. It's not easy. But it's the fastest path to excellence. Pair it with deep work, and you become unstoppable. So, what's the one skill you've been wanting to master? Start today. Go deep. Practice deliberately. And watch yourself become extraordinary. Part 9. Make deep work a lifestyle, not just a tactic. By now, you've learned that deep work is about working without distraction, with full focus, and doing what matters most. You've seen how this skill can supercharge your productivity, amplify your creativity, and accelerate your mastery. But here's a powerful truth that often gets overlooked. Deep work isn't just a tool, it's a way of life. It's not a tactic you occasionally deploy like a productivity trick. It's a mindset, a discipline, a philosophy for living and working well. This is the final and perhaps most crucial idea from Cal Newport's deep work. If you want lasting success, sustained fulfillment, and truly meaningful results, you must embed deep work into your identity. Not as a temporary fix, but as a core value. Let's unpack why this matters, how you can make it happen, and what it could do for your future. The core idea: deep work as a philosophy. Think of deep work not as something you do for a sprint, but as a lifestyle you build around. Newport makes it clear that the benefits of deep work multiply when practiced consistently over time. Just like fitness, meditation, or nutrition, it's the habitual nature of deep work that yields extraordinary outcomes. At its core, deep work is a form of craftsmanship. It's the decision to pursue depth, excellence, and concentration in a world that's obsessed with speed, noise, and multitasking. And when you build your life around these values, your work becomes more than just output. It becomes a reflection of who you are. Why it matters: identity fuels action. There's a profound link between our identity and our behavior. When you see yourself as a focused, thoughtful, and high-impact creator, you act accordingly. You protect your time. You say no to distractions. You build systems that support your best work. On the flip side, when you view deep work as just another trick or hack, it's easy to let it slip. You fall back into old habits. You scroll a little more, procrastinate a little longer, and before you know it, you're back to shallow waters. This is why the most successful people don't just use deep work occasionally, they live it. They build entire lifestyles that support and protect deep focus. They craft their schedules, habits, environments, and even relationships around their commitment to doing meaningful work. A real-life example: Adam Grant's deep work life. Let's take Adam Grant, author, professor, and one of the most productive minds in academia. He doesn't just do deep work when he feels like it. He's designed his entire academic year around it. Instead of spreading his teaching load across both semesters like most professors, Grant batches all his classes into one semester. That way, he can dedicate the other half of the year exclusively to writing, researching, and thinking deeply without interruption. This approach gives him months of uninterrupted deep work, blocks of time where he can sink fully into hard, high-impact tasks. As a result, he's able to produce best-selling books, publish influential research, and remain one of the most admired voices in his field. Why? Because he's made deep work part of his lifestyle, not just his workflow. You don't have to be a professor to do the same. You can batch your meetings, protect certain days for creative work, or build morning rituals that prioritize depth. What matters is intentionality, deciding that deep work deserves a permanent place in your life. How to apply. Build habits, not just hacks. So how do you go from dabbling in deep work to living it? The key is to move from quick fixes to sustainable habits. Here's how. 1. Rethink your identity. Ask yourself not, how can I be more productive? But, who do I want to become? If you want to be a world-class writer, engineer, entrepreneur, or thinker, then deep work isn't optional, it's essential. Let that identity guide your daily choices. 2. Redesign your environment. Remove friction that pulls you away from focus. Clear your workspace. Silence your devices. Use apps that block distractions. Let your environment reflect your commitment to deep work. 3. Establish routines and rituals. Just like an athlete warms up or a musician tunes their instrument, create a ritual for entering deep work. Same place, same time, same cue. Over time, this builds automaticity and reduces resistance. Schedule deep work. Like a meeting, don't leave it to chance. Block time on your calendar for deep work, and protect it like a sacred appointment. If someone tries to steal it, say, "I'm booked." 5. Track and celebrate progress. Measure how many deep hours you complete each week. Celebrate your consistency. Reflect on how much more impactful your work becomes when you go deep. 6. Audit and refine. Every few weeks, review what's working and what's not. Are there shallow tasks creeping back in? Are you slipping into distraction? Adjust your systems accordingly. 7. Make it public. Tell your team, family, or friends about your deep work commitment. When people know you're protecting certain hours for focus, they're more likely to respect it, and you're more likely to uphold it. The goal is to normalize deep work in your life until it becomes second nature. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. A lifestyle with benefits beyond work. What's most fascinating about adopting a deep work lifestyle is that its benefits spill far beyond your professional life. You'll start to notice greater clarity in your thinking, more confidence in your abilities, less anxiety because you're no longer scattered or reactive, higher fulfillment because you're doing work that actually matters. Even your personal life can improve. When you work deeply, you finish more in less time, which frees up space for rest, relationships, and reflection. You're not always busy. You're focused, and that's a game changer. Reflective question. Who do you want to become? Let's pause here and turn inward. Who do you want to become? Not just what do you want to achieve, but what kind of person do you want to be known as? Do you want to be the one who reacts to every ping and swims in shallow work? Or the one who builds something lasting, meaningful, and excellent? Do you want to be average or exceptional? Do you want to dabble or master? The answer to that question will shape your path. Because once you commit to becoming someone who works deeply, your actions follow. You'll stop wasting time, you'll start building, you'll live deliberately, and you'll leave a legacy. Cal Newport ends deep work not with a productivity hack, but with a call to a higher standard, to embrace a life of focus, depth, and purpose, to do fewer things, but better, to resist the pull of distraction and instead choose craftsmanship, clarity, and concentration. Deep work is not a tactic. It's a decision to live and work with intention. So as you walk away from this guide, ask yourself one final question. What kind of work will get you to the life you want to live? Now go do it. Deeply. Part 10. Overcoming resistance and staying consistent. Mastering deep work is a powerful journey, but like any meaningful change, it's not without its challenges. You will face resistance, both from within yourself and from the world around you. This resistance can take many forms: internal doubts, distractions, fatigue, the lure of easier tasks, or external demands like emails, notifications, and interruptions. But here's the truth that separates those who succeed with deep work from those who fall back into shallow habits. Consistency wins. Resistance is natural. The human brain is wired to seek comfort and avoid difficulty. Deep work, by contrast, is hard. It requires discipline, effort, and a willingness to embrace discomfort. When you commit to working deeply, you're pushing against your natural tendencies. That's why it's so important to build not only your ability to focus, but also your resolve and your systems for sustaining that focus over time. Why resistance matters and how it shows up. Resistance isn't just a minor hurdle. It's the primary obstacle in the deep work journey. It creeps in the moment you sit down to focus. It whispers, "Check your phone," or "Answer that email," or "You deserve a break." It might even come disguised as productivity. Busy work that feels urgent, but is actually shallow. Externally, the world doesn't make it easy either. Our culture is designed for distraction. Social media notifications, endless emails, chat messages, meetings, and multitasking all fragment your attention. It's like swimming upstream. This is why deep work isn't just about making a plan. It's about cultivating resolve, the mental muscle that says no to distractions and yes to what truly matters. But resolve alone isn't enough. You need systems that protect your focus, habits that make deep work automatic, and support mechanisms to keep you accountable. How to overcome resistance and stay consistent. First, set clear, measurable deep work goals. Define exactly what deep work means for you. Is it writing for 2 hours? Coding without interruption? Designing a project? Set specific, measurable targets for each session and track your progress. This clarity transforms vague intentions into actionable goals. 2. Build accountability into your routine. Accountability is a powerful motivator. Share your deep work goals with a friend, colleague, or mentor. Use apps or journals to log your deep work sessions. Knowing someone else is watching, or even just recording your progress, creates a positive pressure to stick to your commitment. Schedule regular reviews. Once a week, review your deep work efforts. What went well? What obstacles arose? How did you feel? Reflecting helps you identify patterns of resistance and refine your strategies. It also reinforces your commitment by reminding you of the progress you've made. 4. Celebrate small wins. Deep work can feel isolating or frustrating at times, so celebrate every victory, no matter how small. Completed a focused hour? Finished a draft? Tackled a tough problem? Give yourself credit. These celebrations build positive associations with deep work and keep motivation high. 5. Design your environment to minimize distractions. Remove all unnecessary distractions from your workspace. Silence notifications, close irrelevant tabs, and create physical boundaries if possible. The less friction there is to distraction, the easier it is to maintain deep focus. 6. Use rituals to signal deep work. Create routines or cues that prepare your mind for deep work, whether it's a specific playlist, lighting a candle, or a brief meditation. These rituals train your brain to recognize that it's time to focus deeply, helping to reduce resistance. Real-life example: Cal Newport's writing schedule. Cal Newport himself practices what he preaches. His writing schedule is a masterclass in resisting distraction and sustaining deep work. He blocks out large chunks of uninterrupted time dedicated solely to writing. During these periods, he avoids email, social media, and any multitasking. Instead, he focuses purely on producing output, whether that's drafting chapters, refining ideas, or researching. His goal is not to be busy, but to be deeply productive. By setting this strict boundary around his deep work, Newport effectively silences internal and external resistance. He knows that distractions will come, but during these blocks, he's built a fortress of focus. His consistency over time has allowed him to produce influential books and ideas that have changed how millions think about productivity and attention. Why consistency beats motivation every time. Motivation is fickle. Some days you'll feel inspired and ready to conquer mountains. Other days you won't. If you rely only on motivation, your deep work will be inconsistent and fragile. Consistency, however, builds momentum. By showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, you strengthen your ability to focus and produce. You build habits that automate deep work, making it a default state rather than an occasional effort. Consistency also builds confidence. Each deep work session proves to yourself that you can resist distraction. That sense of accomplishment fuels the next session, creating a virtuous cycle. Challenge: your 30-day deep work goal. Now, here's a challenge for you. Set a deep work goal for the next 30 days and track your streak. Decide what deep work means for you: writing, coding, designing, studying. Choose a minimum daily or weekly duration you can realistically commit to. Mark your calendar or use a tracking app to record each session. Use weekly reviews to adjust and improve. Celebrate milestones to keep motivated. By committing to this 30-day streak, you'll begin to rewire your brain for focus, push through resistance, and develop a consistency that leads to mastery. Reflective question: how will you handle resistance? Finally, ask yourself this: when resistance inevitably shows up, whether as a tempting distraction or an internal voice of doubt, how will you respond? Will you give in and slip back into shallow work? Or will you remind yourself why deep work matters? Will you use your rituals, your accountability, your goals to push through? Building this muscle of resistance management is one of the greatest gifts deep work can give you, not just for productivity, but for life. Overcoming resistance and staying consistent is the final frontier of deep work mastery. It's not easy, but it's essential. Distractions and internal doubts will always be there, but with clear goals, accountability, rituals, and celebration, you can protect your focus and build a deep work habit that transforms your life. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about showing up, day after day, hour after hour, and choosing depth over distraction. That's how you win the battle for attention, produce your best work, and create a meaningful, fulfilling career and life. So set your goal, track your streak, and get ready to embrace the power of consistent, deep work. The rewards await. Part 11. Conclusion. Your deep work life starts now. Deep work is more than just a productivity method. It's a superpower in the 21st century. In a world overflowing with distractions, constant notifications, and an endless barrage of shallow tasks, the ability to focus deeply stands apart as a rare and invaluable skill. This skill transforms how you work, learn, and live. When you truly harness deep work, you tap into a state where you produce your best, learn faster, and achieve more meaningful success. Focus isn't just about getting more done. It's about getting the right things done with excellence and intention. That's the deep work advantage, and it's yours to claim. You don't need more time. This is a truth often overlooked. Everyone has the same 24 hours, but what separates the highly successful from the rest is not more hours, it's more focused hours. Just 1 hour of undistracted, deep work can change your trajectory. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing the essential things with full concentration and no interference. Imagine if you made a habit of that 1 hour daily. How much could you accomplish? How much could your skills grow? How much closer would you get to your dreams? Deep work is the multiplier that makes this possible. So, how do you begin your deep work journey? Start by identifying your high-value activities, the tasks and projects that truly move the needle in your life or career. These are the efforts that deserve your best attention, not the endless emails, meetings, or social media scrolling. Clarify what truly matters to your goals and purpose. Next, schedule deep work blocks in your calendar. Treat these time slots as sacred appointments with yourself. Protect these blocks from interruptions and approach them with the mindset that this is when your most important work gets done. Consistency here is key. Even short but regular sessions can build your deep work habit. Reduce distractions aggressively. Turn off notifications, close unnecessary tabs, silence your phone, and create a physical workspace that signals focus. Design your environment to support your ability to concentrate rather than sabotage it. Remember, distractions fragment your attention and steal your time, even if it feels like you're being productive. Be intentional with your tools. Social media, email, and apps can be useful, but they should serve your goals, not hijack your attention. Use the craftsman approach to technology. Choose only the tools that provide clear, high value, and cut the rest. By curating your digital environment, you protect your mind from needless interruptions and preserve your focus for what matters most. Your deep work life starts now. The journey to mastering deep work isn't a future project. It begins right now. You have everything you need to start turning your distractions into focused power. Remember, deep work is not a one-time hack or a fleeting experiment. It's a lifestyle, a way of thinking and working that puts your attention where it belongs, on the tasks and goals that shape your future. Every day offers a new opportunity to practice. Will you spend it drowning in shallow distractions? Or will you choose to dive deep, create value, and transform your life? The choice is yours, but the path forward is clear. Start small, build rituals, protect your time, and watch as your focus becomes your greatest asset. If this video helped you see the incredible value of deep work, please hit the like button. It lets me know this message matters to you. Share your biggest takeaway in the comments below. What deep work habit will you start today? I'd love to hear your goals and help support your journey. And don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing book and practical insights designed to unlock your full potential. Together, we'll keep growing, learning, and mastering the superpower of deep work. Your focused, intentional life starts now. Let's dive in and make every hour count.